photographer, I found myself inspired by many different people. And whilst at college studying photography, we talked about the formal elements of art and photographers who weren't just photographers. And now I found myself drawn to the work of many of these photographers: Henri Cartier-Bresson, a painter; Van Gogh, a filmmaker and actor. But my overall favourite, as you may or may not be able to tell from my pictures, is Saul Leiter. The abstract nature of Saul Leiter's work takes a photography rulebook, throws it out of a rain-spotted window onto a snow-covered street, and beautifully melds it with the art world, often using bold colours, subframing, frame blocking, and telephoto lenses to achieve absolutely dreamlike images. Now, I think having influences is essential to our development as photographers. And Saul Leiter's work, for me personally, it's very relatable because I too like to shoot with longer focal length lenses on the streets. Saul Leiter would often shoot between something like 90mm and 150mm, and I find that a very comfortable space to get the type of images that I want. Now recently I've been shooting a lot with the Sony 85mm f1.8 on a full frame camera. To get a similar sort of field of view, you can use something like the 45mm f1.8 from Olympus on Micro Four Thirds, or something in the range of about 55 to 60 on an APS-C camera. It's going to give you that similar field of view to get images that look kind of like this. There are many things that I find very relatable with Saul Leiter and his work, and it was his open-mindedness and willingness to try things that weren't the norm that, allowed him to create these images that we are now all looking at in awe somewhat, One of his quotes that I really like is in his book, The Unseen Saul Leiter, and it goes, "I think the reason I developed something on my own, I didn't know better. I did what I wanted to do. I'm not a person who is rigid, who's committed to one way. Sometimes I try something, sometimes I try something else." It's having that open-mindedness, that willingness to break the mold and just do your own thing because it visually pleases you, that allows him to create such fantastic work. This book, The Unseen Saul Leiter, is absolutely fantastic. My wife bought me this last year. And listening to the anecdotes from the people who worked with him and things that he has said, as well as his images, it's an absolutely fantastic book. I can highly recommend this one. Another thing I really like about Saul Leiter's work is his willingness to shoot the everyday things within his street scenes. Another quote of Saul's goes, "The truth, of course, is that with the passage of time, the things that we are surrounded by become as exotic as things in far-off places. So in a funny way, time is on the side, I think, of the photographer." Now, when it comes to Saul Leiter's influence on my work, rather than explain what it is, I've told you the elements I use, the longer focal lengths, the frame blocking, subframing, that kind of thing. I'll just show you some of my pictures, and hopefully you can see the influence within them. I hope you really enjoyed those pictures. Please do let me know if you have a favourite in the comments. But now, let's get to this thing. Who's winning this hunk of junk? Okay, so we had quite a few fun comments. I'm going to read a few as honourable mentions before I get to the one who, to me, it was just... So BillsyBub2000 said, "I want to use it to start my own YouTube channel, Shite Camera Photography," which was pretty good. Well done. Talbot CD1 said, with winter on the way, it would be handy to scrape ice off the windscreen, but it's kind of got rounded edges. Though I suppose if you put that dumb filter holder on there and a big ass filter, you could probably get away with it. So yeah, quite good. Jan Penny said, I've got a wobbly kitchen table. Okay, so which unfortunate soul won this camera? It was, I don't know what that is. It could, I don't know, with that name, it could even be a scam. But anyway, we'll find out, won't we? They say, I'll use this camera to take award-winning photos of my dog judging me for eating snacks without sharing. One day, I'll frame his side eye and hang it in a museum. The world needs to see his disappointments. I thought that was pretty cool. So yes, well done. You have won this terrible camera, and hopefully you will sell it and buy your dog treats, you greedy individual. So congratulations for winning this absolutely garbage camera. Find some way to message me and we'll sort out a delivery. Thank you all very much for your comments. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.